Hey guys, this is Goku, and on this channel we talk about poker and ideas that can improve your life. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and click the subscribe button because I'll be honored to have you here. Today we're gonna play another GTO trainer session. We're playing the spot MP2 open versus button call, and we've already played I think over 200 hands of this spot, and you can check those out in the previous episodes. But now let's just jump right into it. And for the first hand, we can see we got pocket aces, which is obviously great, but we're gonna play them cool. We're gonna bet a third of the pot, and as we can see, the solver plays this 51% of the time, and this is the ideal action here. On the turn, we have a 10 of diamonds, and we're going to up a bit our betting. We're gonna bet 2/3 of the pot. And this is again ideal action, but the villain falls. Let's go to the next one. We've got King Jack off on King 9 deuce. We're going to bet 2.5, so a third of the pot. The villain calls. We have a 7 of diamonds on the turn, and we're gonna do pretty much the same what we did last time. We're gonna up the aggression, bet 2/3, and the villain folds again. And it is again the ideal action, but this time played 60% of the time. So the remainder 40% of the time, I'm thinking the solver either plays 1/3 of the pot or overbet. Maybe he also checks sometimes here. Yeah, let's do the next one. Ace 5 suited on 10 deuce tray. We're gonna bet a third of the pot. This is a good spot for betting 2/3. Good to know. 63% the solver plays it here. We get raised. And should we call this or fold? I think we gotta fold this here. Whoa! Actually, the ideal action here is re-raising, and the solver plays it here 81% of the time. Really? Now this is a very interesting spot, and I can't really understand why the solver folds here just almost never. With ace 5 suited. Very weird, but yeah, let's move on. Ace Jack off on 10 King 9. We're going to bet 2.5. Yep. We get called. There's a 10 of spades on the turn, and we are going to check. Betting 8 is the ideal action, played 47% of the time. And now we've hit our jack on the river, but we're gonna check again. Yep, and we end up winning the pot. Pocket fives on tray King King is a bet 2.5. The solver agrees. We get called. There's a deuce of clubs on the turn. And do we continue betting here? Do we check? I think we can check. Yep, the solver does this 3/4 of the time. Queen of hearts on the river. We're gonna check call. Yep. And we should actually be folding here 83% of the time, which is quite interesting. I guess it's because it's a queen of hearts. I mean, it's a face card. And the button has a lot of Broadway cards, I think. But okay. If he lost, it's fine. And yeah, it's the remainder of the strategy. So ace queen suited on 7 deuce, on 7-10 4. We're gonna check here. Solver plays it 60% of the time. Villain checks behind. 7 of clubs on the turn. We're gonna bet a third of the pot. Should be checking again, but can sometimes do that here. Solver does it as well. King of diamonds on the river, we're gonna check. And we lose to pocket fives. King jack off on 10-8-9. I think we're gonna check this here. Can also bet 2.5. Villain checks behind. We have a deuce of clubs on the turn. We're gonna bet 5 this time. Should be over betting, really. Betting 2/3 is just 7.6% of the strategy, so should either be checking, I think, or betting or over betting in this spot, which is interesting. Pocket fives on 9 jack 6. Is that a bet 2.5 or check? King queen suited on 4 tray 6. This is going to be a check from us. Yes. Villain checks as well. We have a 5 of clubs on the turn. We're gonna check again. Villain checks as well. And we have a 4 of diamonds on the river. And we're checking. And calling. Yeah, I think we're calling that with king high. But we should instead be falling. Okay. 99.6% of the time we should be falling here. Okay, king high is not enough to call in such a spot. It's good to know that. Now we have queen 10 suited on 10 king 5, and we're gonna bet a third. Checking is fine, it's better actually. There's a 9 of hearts on the turn. We're gonna check now. Villain checks as well. And 8 of spades on the river, and we are going to check this again. And we lose to a better 10. Pocket fours on deuce 10 7 with 2 hearts. I'm gonna check. Villain checks behind. 10 of spades on the turn. And we're gonna check again. Yeah. Villain overbets the pot now. We got a fold with pocket fours. Wow, the solver would actually call this here almost half of the time. Which is super weird, but whatever. Jack 9 of hearts on 9 10 6. Betting a third. Checking is better. We get called. 7 of hearts on the turn. We're gonna check. Solver agrees. Villain checks as well. And we have another 10 on the river. We're gonna check, call. I think, yeah. And which is even more interesting, the ideal action here is shoving by the solver. And I think it actually makes sense because yeah, we're wrapping the straight by shoving or a full house, and the villain would never would rarely check back a strong hand like that, I think. But okay, let's go to the next one. Ace 10 off on 8-4 king, betting a third. Can be checking as well. We get called. Tray of spades on the turn. We're gonna check. Yeah, it's a good spot to continue betting. I can see. But now that the villain that we checked and the villain bets, Do we call this here with ace 10? I think it's fine to fold. It is. Wow. It's not just fine, it's the correct play. Ace 6 of spades on 5-5-9. We're gonna check. Betting 2/3 is good here. Pretty much. We're gonna call off the 2.5 bet. King on the turn. Gonna take the initiative, I think, and lead for 2/3. Would be better to check, actually, but we get called. And there's another king on the river. So I think we should continue our line and bet 2/3. Not gonna know what happened because this is a rare tree, but nonetheless the villain falls, so that's good. We have ace 3 of spades on queen king 8. We're gonna bet 2.5. We get raised, we fold. Pocket aces on ace king 10. We are going to bet a third. Checking would be better. There's 9 of diamonds on the turn. We're going to bet 8. Checking would be better, and the solver checks here 98% of the time, which is weird. Now we're gonna check on the river. The solver shoves, the villain shoves. We're not gonna know what happens in this tree, so we're gonna call and win to a lesser 3 of a kind, which is good. Ace queen off on 4 deuce queen. We're going to bet 2/3 for a change, and the solver plays it here 36% of the time. Jack queen off on 9 tray ace is bet 2.5. We get called. There's a 10 of hearts on the turn, so a nice card for us to continue betting, and I'm gonna bet 2/3. Solver agrees with this line. Get called again, and now we feed our jack on the river, but it is surely not enough to win. So I'm thinking we gotta shove it here. Or is it a check? Fold. No, I think we gotta shove it here, right? Should be a check, actually. The shove, the EV loss of the shove is very small, but the solver rarely plays it here, so it's check 96% of the time, and I assume the remainder is maybe a donk bet, but nonetheless we lose to 9-10, so 2 pair. Pocket fives on 9-8-8. We're gonna check, yeah, and call. Yep. Jack on the turn, checking again. Villain checks as well. And we've lost our any showdown value, so we're gonna overbet it now. And which is interesting, actually, donk betting here or betting 2/3 is better than overbetting, because overbetting is just 1.5% of the strategy. 6-8, suited on ace 6-10. We're gonna bet 2.5. Yep, we get called. Another ace on the turn. We are going to check. Villain checks as well. And we check again on the deuce on the river. And we end up winning. Pocket kings on queen jack 3. It's going to be bet 5.5. Yeah, but the villain falls. Ace 6 suited on 6-5 king. Bet 2.5. Another king on the turn. We're gonna check. And call. And we have a jack on the river. We're gonna check. And the villain now shoves all in. This is a spot that we call with a6. Think so. Should be actually a fold. 97% of the time. The EV loss of calling is very small, but the solver plays it 3% of the time, so it's much better to fold our a6 here, which is interesting. Ace 4 suited on 4 queen 5. We're gonna bet the third. Checking is the same. We hit our second pair. We hit the ace. The board turns flushy though, so we are going to bet 2/3. Actually, checking is the ideal action. Bet 2/3 is almost no part of the strategy. We're gonna check on the 9 of clubs on the river. We end up winning, but it is quite interesting that I think it's a check, perhaps, yeah, on the turn here. Yeah. We have pocket 8s on queen 8 jack. We're going to bet 5.5. Nope. It's big EV loss actually, which is weird. Should be bet 2.5. Now we're checking on the 9 of clubs. Villain checks as well, and on the ace of spades, we're gonna actually bet 2/3. Ace 5 suited on ace queen deuce is a bet 2.5. Villain folded, and we've played our 25 hands. So let's exit the session and see our overall EV loss. It's minus 29 BBs. It's not that bad. It's not perfect either. You can see that this session was quite okay when it comes to the frequency of our aggression. Of course, we were more aggressive as always, but yeah, we're slowly getting there. I think most of the spots we didn't make too many mistakes. Yeah, we just had this one mistake here that costed us 1.5 BB, and this spot with ace 5 suited was the most devastating loss. But other than that, yeah, it was a good session. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video, please leave a comment below. Comment GTO if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, and you're not subscribed already, just go ahead and click the subscribe button right now, and also leave this video a thumbs up. If you want to play the GTO spots yourself, you can easily sign up with the link in the description of this video. And yeah, we're gonna be playing a lot more of these, so yeah, stay tuned. See you guys. You want to learn how to play poker? Great. You have little or no experience playing poker? No problem. Do you want to learn the fundamentals, the most basic principles that allow you to easily win money when playing with casual players? That's perfect, because this course was created specifically for people like you. My name is Mateusz, I've played over 3 million hands of No Limit Texas Hold'em, and I'd like to teach you how to play poker like a pro. What you will learn in this course are the fundamentals, the ABC of poker condensed into 21 short and easily digestible lectures. In each lecture, you will learn a different concept which you can test out and practice immediately after watching. Well, do you want to become a good poker player? Do you want to be able to beat recreational players easily? Do you want to have a great time winning at your local home games? Great! Get this course now and start winning at poker.